Hello everyone, and welcome to DisraptorsTV, the channel where we explore the stories of game changers and innovators. From groundbreaking technologies to revolutionary businesses, we uncover the journeys of those who challenged the norm. Join us as we showcase the power of disruptive thinking and its impact on our world. As we showcase the power of disruptive thinking and its role in shaping our world, to celebrate the release of the new upcoming game The Legend of Zelda, Tears of the Kingdom, I decided to explore this amazing franchise and how it's impacted the whole gaming industry. Welcome to the world of The Legend of Zelda. The Legend of Zelda is an iconic video game franchise that has been delighting gamers for over 30 years. From its first release in 1986 to today's Breath of the Wild, this beloved series has consistently pushed boundaries and redefined what is possible in gaming. This short documentary will take you on a journey through the history of the Zelda franchise, exploring how it disrupted the gaming industry when it first came out and continues to do so today. Chapter 1: The Birth of Zelda. In the mid-1980s, home console gaming was dominated by two major players, Nintendo and Sega. While these companies were industry giants, their offerings were largely homogeneous, a few different versions of space shooters or sports games. There was little to no diversity in what video games could be, leaving gamers starving for something new. This revolutionary series, created by Shigeru Miyamoto and Takashi Tezuka, shattered the gaming landscape with its expansive 3D worlds, deep storytelling, and captivating characters. It offered a unique experience that gamers had never seen before. The original Legend of Zelda game changed the gaming world forever.
This man came all the way from Indiana to get one. He came 1,000 miles just for this game?
Yes. I've done 7 stores a day for 3 weeks now. I cannot find it.
I have to live with my kids for the rest of the year, so I have to have this on Christmas.
It was one of the first single-player and story-driven games to be released for a home console, and its influence can still be felt in many popular video games today. Players were captivated by its expansive flat 3D world and the way it rewarded exploration and experimentation. The Legend of Zelda also inspired game developers to create unique and engaging stories, characters, and settings that could capture the player's imagination.
I bet I'm much better than him at Zelda.
How many hours you play a day?
Around 1 or 2.
2 hours a night?
It's a
When
lot.
you should be doing your homework?
Yeah.
Chapter 2: Zelda's influence on the industry.
The Legend of Zelda continues. Defeat your enemies, save the kingdom.
Beware.
Some will help you, others will betray you.
The Legend of Zelda has had an immense impact on the gaming industry since its release in 1986. Its expansive and detailed world, innovative game mechanics, and compelling narrative influenced a generation of game developers who sought to create games with similar qualities. Games such as Super Mario 64, Banjo-Kazooie, and Grand Theft Auto were all inspired by elements from The Legend of Zelda. These successes demonstrate that The Legend of Zelda games have not only disrupted the gaming culture with its innovative mechanics and open-world design, but also the commercial market for video games. Its impact on modern gaming culture cannot be understated, and it continues to remain a major influence in the industry today. The success of The Legend of Zelda's art style gave rise to a trend in 3D realism that is still seen in many modern video games today. Other features such as dynamic music and puzzle-solving systems have also been adapted by other popular titles like Portal 2 or Journey. Notable video game producers who have publicly shared how The Legend of Zelda influenced their own games: Shigeru Miyamoto, creator of the Super Mario series; Hideo Kojima, creator of the Metal Gear Solid series; and Todd Howard, director at Bethesda Game Studios. In an interview with IGN in 2015, Miyamoto said that it was the exploration element of The Legend of Zelda which most inspired him when creating Super Mario 64.
やっぱりそこへ入り込んでしまうっていう自分がやっぱりヒーローになった気分になるって、勇者になった気分になるって、本当に泣いてしまうとかそういう思いで。
Kojima also spoke about the influence Zelda had on his work in a 2019 interview with US Gamer, saying that he was fascinated by how all the elements of this game, The dungeon-like structure and puzzle element, the storytelling, Link's ability to explore freely, all fit together. Bethesda Game Studios director Todd Howard has also spoken multiple times about how The Legend of Zelda influenced their games such as Fallout 3 and Skyrim.
I haven't played, but people put up there as one of the greats, Zelda Breath of the Wild. Have you gotten a chance to play it?
A lot of it, yes. It's fantastic. It's fantastic.
What do you think about, I mean, it's a very different experience. I played other Zeldas than the open worlds you've created, but it is also an open world.
It is. It's my favorite Zelda, because obviously I like open world stuff. And the one thing that they do really, really well is they don't constrain you. Some people, you know, even some of the things we do constrain you a little bit more. Zelda says, here's the whole thing. And you are constrained by the actual player abilities you haven't earned yet, not some arbitrary barriers. And so I think they just did a phenomenal job. It's a magical game.
It really feels open.
It's because it truly is, yes.
The strong influence of The Legend of Zelda on modern video games is also seen in the Nintendo Switch's 2017 release of Breath of the Wild. Praised the game for its open-world exploration, unique battle system and creative puzzles. Games Radar said that Breath of the Wild rewrites what we expect from a Zelda game and from an open-world game while awarding it their Most Innovative Game award in 2017. The Legend of Zelda franchise has been commercially successful ever since its debut. It's one of the best-selling video game franchises of all time, with over 79 million copies in total being sold as of 2019. The Breath of the Wild installment is also no stranger to success, having sold over 11 million units worldwide by April 2020. When The Legend of Zelda first released back in 1986, no one imagined how much influence it would have over video games today. With its release of Breath of the Wild, The Legend of Zelda continues to demonstrate why it is still one of the most revered franchises in gaming history even after 30 years. Chapter 3: The Breath of the Wild Revolution.
Great calamity was merciless. It devastated everything in its path. Lo, a century ago.
Link met with the ghost of the King of Hyrule, who had perished.
The revolutionary effects of the original Zelda can only be fully appreciated when compared to its follow-up, The Legend of Zelda: Breath of the Wild. This latest installment in the franchise builds upon many of the aspects its predecessor created and adds some unique elements that make it stand out from other games in the genre. One such example is its open-world design, which gives players the freedom to explore and discover secrets at their own pace. The Breath of the Wild reimagines the series for a new generation of players and redefines what is possible in the gaming landscape. Its open-world design allows for unprecedented levels of exploration and interaction, while its expansive content provides plenty of challenges to keep gamers engaged. It also introduces several unique mechanics that make it stand out from other games. It's a revolutionary title in the long-running series, and redefines what it means to be an adventure game. The world of Hyrule has never looked better, with stunning visuals that draw you into its vast expanses. The world is huge and filled with secrets to explore, making this game an adventure unlike any other. The controls are incredibly intuitive and easy to learn, allowing players of all skill levels to quickly pick up the basics and jump into the action. Movement is smooth and responsive, allowing for fluid exploration of the expansive landscapes. The combat system is deep and strategic, giving players plenty of options for taking down enemies. The game also features an innovative crafting system that allows you to create new items and upgrades by combining elements found throughout the world. You'll be able to customize your character, weapons, and armor in a variety of ways, making it possible to always have something new to explore. Breath of the Wild also features some truly innovative gameplay mechanics. The game allows you to manipulate the environment in ways never before seen in a Zelda game, allowing for even more creative ways to approach puzzles and enemies. The game's physics engine is incredibly detailed, with interactive elements that can be used to your advantage. The game also features a dynamic weather system that can cause certain areas to be inaccessible at certain times, adding an extra layer of challenge and strategy. The game's intuitive controls make it easy to move around and interact with different objects in the world. Breath of the Wild is an incredibly engaging and immersive game that allows players to explore its rich environment without feeling overwhelmed or restricted by traditional game mechanics. Its intuitive controls, open-world structure, and myriad of activities to experience, from cooking to collecting resources and engaging with non-player characters, allow players to explore the world in ways that other games do not. The game also encourages experimentation and trial and error. Players can easily switch between different weapons and items, allowing them to try different strategies for combat or puzzle solving. Unlike most games, where death or punishment results from mistakes, Breath of the Wild, players can easily undo there and continue on without penalty. The Breath of the Wild offers an accessible yet deep gaming experience. Newcomers to the series will find the game's controls intuitive and easy to learn, while veterans of the series will find familiar mechanics at play. The combat system is highly innovative and revolves around utilizing physical objects. Players can use whatever materials they have on hand, be it rocks, sticks, or even bombs, to defeat their enemies. It also features an impressive crafting system, with weapons and shields able to be upgraded in a variety of ways. The game is incredibly expansive, with an immersive open world for players to explore. It features many unique environments, from deserts to snow-covered mountains and more. The world also contains dozens of side quests and mini-games to discover as you progress through the main story. The Legend of Zelda Breath of the Wild is truly a masterpiece. It feels both familiar and entirely new, combining elements from previous games in the series with innovative features that make it stand out from other open-world games.
Breath of the Wild's exploration is rooted in the concept basically that if you can see it, you can get there. And while any sort of open world has points of interest, here you'll stumble upon them organically in any order you please, however you choose to get there. Nintendo has created the most limitless open world game ever made.
Every aspect has been designed with the player's enjoyment in mind, making it one of the most intuitive and easy to play games around. Breath of the Wild features some of the most impressive visuals ever seen in a Zelda game. Its highly detailed graphics, combined with its art direction, give it an almost magical feel, while its unique blend of handcrafted environments, procedurally generated dungeons, and open-world gameplay create a truly expansive experience like no other. The combination of these features has caused Breath of the Wild to be celebrated by fans as one of the best video games ever made. Breath of the Wild has also been highly rated by critics and gamers on Metacritic. It boasts an aggregated score of 97 out of 100 based on over 2,000 reviews from gaming websites and critics, making it one of the highest rated games of all time. It won numerous awards such as Game of the Year from the Game Awards, IGN's Reader's Choice Award, and Best Action Adventure Game at the 20th Annual DICE Awards. Tears of the Kingdom looks set to deliver on its promise and become yet another game changer for the industry. Whether it lives up to fans' expectations or not remains to be seen. But one thing is certain, The Legend of Zelda has earned its place in video game history and continues to challenge the status quo even today. The impact that this franchise has had on the gaming industry is undeniable, and it shows no signs of slowing down anytime soon. As we eagerly await Tears of the Kingdom's release, let us take a moment to appreciate the legacy that is The Legend of Zelda, with its groundbreaking innovations and captivating stories. It's no wonder that Zelda continues to be one of the most influential franchises in the gaming world. So thank you everyone for joining me on this journey. It was an honor, and see you on the next one.